We ended up getting Starlink before this trip. A couple of reasons: getting access to internet for work and just being able to have it for safety reasons, I guess, just having contact. So we knew that we weren't going to have any internet, or, basically purely boondocking, no electricity, no water for this stage of the trip. And so we just got the Starlink, was on sale, wanted to try it out. So I'll just kind of go through our experience with it. Real world experience, not a lot of open sky here in this area, so it'll be interesting to see if we even get a connection here. If not, then we'll just relax and disconnect. Alright, so I was able to finally get it connected. It took a little bit to get it connected, but we're getting 116 megabits per second and about 15 up right now. Pretty nice. Just again, for us, I think it's just kind of more peace of mind, being able to get access for work, but also just to have contact with family and let them know that we're doing okay. We've got it right out in front, and it just have just enough clearance there. Just an FYI on the power draw, looks like we're drawing about 65, 75, 93. It kind of varies, I think, between 60 to 100, somewhere in that range. But looks like this will work. It's not going to work for 24/7 internet, but I think it should work for just checking in when we get to a campground. Thinking of maybe using it for making reservations. We don't have any reservations for the rest of the week, so we'll just see if we can find something online or if we just kind of play it by ear. Anyways, so very happy. Seems to be working really well. I was kind of regretting not getting the mini, and I think that's kind of the latest and greatest right now. You can use it while you're driving. It's a lot smaller, but this one was on sale. It was a lot cheaper. Data plan very expensive if you're using mobile, but I guess for our purposes we can put it on hold when we're not using it. So anyways, we'll see how it works. I still can't believe that Starlink worked last night. I was very much impressed. If you look at the sky available and the obstructions that we have here, there's just one little open spot. And from everything that I've seen from people that have been using Starlink, especially in a very forested campground like this, there's really low probability, I thought, of getting any kind of a connection. But we connected right away. That was an acorn that just fell from the tree. But it connected right away. We had very good speeds, actually. So that was nice just to be able to connect, get our information, get our stuff done, and then disconnect. So we're just going to do it maybe once or twice a day just to check in on things. Alright, so now I got the Starlink connected, and it is connected just fine, even with the limited sky available. And if we check the Jackery, so I've got the router and the power, and you can see that currently in we've got 112 watts, out 50 watts. That varies. I think it goes up to as high as 70 But either way, we're still charging the battery even though we're connected to Starlink. So as long as the sun is out in full force, you have the potential for having perpetual connectivity, and you're not even using any battery. So that's kind of cool. So the weather has changed a bit here. It was all sunny the last few days, but now it's overcast. And it looks like it's going to be raining today and tomorrow. I set up the Starlink outside, and I have everything in the storage bin here. I've got the router, power supply, and the jackery. So if it does start raining, I can just close this bin. And the Starlink antenna is designed to handle rain, so should be good there. So we're just getting caught up on some things here, and then checking the weather. Looks like there's a chance of thunderstorm this morning, and tomorrow it's going to be super cold and rainy. So I don't know, we might make a change tomorrow. We might just leave early.
Yeah.
We'll have to decide and see what we're going to do.
See what the weather does.
Either way, it's very peaceful, calming with the stream in the background. So we're actually very much enjoying it, even though it's not the best weather. Another quick real-world update. So in this new campsite, it was really no problem getting connection. Again, we have very limited sky visibility. There's kind of an open area above us, but right now getting 333 megabits per second download and 25 megabits upload. But it was just kind of interesting, again, seeing some of the other people's experience with Starlink that seemed to indicate that they were not able to use it when they were in a campground that had a lot of trees. But this seems to be working pretty well. So I don't know if it's maybe the latest gen. This is the latest, or it's not the mini, it's the standard, but it has a bigger antenna, I think. Or maybe we just have enough openness. If you don't have anything open above you, then of course then it won't find anything. So I was able to test out the Starlink using Wi-Fi calling. Allowed me to get SMS and send SMS to non-iPhone users, so that worked out pretty well. And so you have to just go into your iPhone and activate Wi-Fi calling, and then it seemed to work. I also tried FaceTime, that worked really well. So all in all, pretty good, pretty happy with the Starlink setup. Good morning, it is Wednesday, September 4th. We are still here in South Fork Campground in the Bighorn National Forest, and we're pretty relaxed and enjoying ourselves here. Just wanted to give a quick update about Starlink. I had second thoughts about getting it originally. Ended up being kind of a fun little project that I was working on just to kind of see how it goes, see how it works, especially when you're in kind of a real world situation where you have a campground that doesn't have good sky coverage visibility. And it's actually worked surprisingly well. I think I was expecting, really bad reception or it not working at all, but it actually worked pretty good. We basically used it maybe once or twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon or evening, just to check in for work, but also to just text people. I also was able to use it to make some reservations for our trip home. We actually kind of left that completely open because we weren't sure exactly the path that we were going to take, and so I was able to go online and just kind of plan that trip and make the reservations. So that was really helpful. So we have really no cell coverage whatsoever, so that would have been just a little bit more stressful dealing with that. Also, I was able to talk to my dad. That was fun. We did a little bit of a FaceTime, so that was kind of unique. Anyway, so I think that alone, all of that kind of made it all worth it. And You know, it's a very expensive data plan, so in the future I'll have to kind of figure out if that's something that will be worth it. For us, we're not full-timing, we're not working remotely or anything like that. It's just for special trips that we'll be using it. I know the Mini has a new plan, a 50 gigabyte plan, which might actually be more ideal for us. It's a lot cheaper and smaller antenna. So I guess I would be curious if it would work as well as this antenna, the standard antenna here, with the really limited and lots of obstructions. So that would be something that maybe in the future would be a good thing that we could check on or evaluate. And then just with the cheaper plan, just makes it more desirable to use for kind of irregular use like we are with our camping trips. So based on our experience so far, I think it was definitely worth it. It was fun to play around with, but also it was very useful just to check on weather, because that was a little bit up in the air. Make plans, reservations as we're going. Usually when we're in these kind of campgrounds like in Utah and Canyonlands or in other places where there's just no cell coverage whatsoever, we're just kind of at the mercy. It's nice to disconnect, but it's also nice to be able to plan and kind of know what's happening around you as far as weather, and then also to kind of plan the trip home. So anyways, I think it was definitely worth it, and 2 thumbs up from us. So